Hello, and welcome back to the Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Teagan Elliott, and today I am joined by special guest, Katie.
Hello.
Hi, or do you go by Katie Rose? I hear both.
I actually go by, so I've always gone by Katie Rose.
Okay.
And then I moved here. And if you couldn't tell, I'm not from here.
You're British, yeah.
Exactly.
That's so strange.
Exactly. No, when I would introduce myself and say, hi, I'm Katie Rose, people would say, hi, Katie. And that happened every single time. And then I think after the third or fourth time of saying, oh, actually, I go by Katie Rose, I just gave up. Because it doesn't matter that much. So
yeah, true.
I will respond to both. I don't care.
Yeah, I think, back home, I would tell people, I'm like, no, my nickname is actually T-Money. I went through a phase in, middle school where I tried to make that a thing. It did not last. It was really cringe. It was really cringe.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, because there was this girl in high school, she was like, yeah, you're T-Money, you're T-Dog. And I was like, yeah, I'm so gangster.
Oh, my God.
When I'm like,
I know who you're talking about too. There's always that one girl. Oh my gosh, no, we had one girl at our school whose last name was Ditherow, but she goes, no, everybody calls me Diddy, and then everybody genuinely called her Diddy. It worked for her, somehow.
Oh,
anyway,
nice. Well, so Katie, you can hear her accent is American, but here's what was really strange. So there was all these film group chats people were making when you were finding people from the chorus. People would go on Snapchat and they'd try to create a group chat and all this stuff. And there was someone in the chat they're like, oh, where are you from? And I'm American. And then they said, oh, there's another girl from Seattle here as well. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really?
What are the odds?
I was like, no. I was like, there's no way.
There's no way.
And then I think they were like, yeah, her name is Katie Rose or whatever, and then I messaged you, and then we were like, wait, what the heck, this is so strange, because not only are we from the same area, but we also do the same course at the same uni, and this isn't a thing that people from Seattle choose to go to school in England.
People on the West Coast, unless you're old money and in California or something, don't really go to England for school. I'd say most Americans I've met are from the East Coast?
Yeah, I'd say I met Americans from the East Coast, and then the other ones I've met have been from California.
Yeah,
I know one girl from Chicago, but she, I feel like, is kind of an exception. I haven't found.
Same as we would be. But yeah, no, it's not a normal thing for kids from our area to go to uni in the UK.
And let alone do film.
And to do film. Who leaves America
and also coming to the north. We didn't choose to go to London.
Exactly.
That's also
the other
strange.
Thing. But yeah, no, crazy. But it's very strange, but I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, too.
No, okay, so the way we ended up kind of meeting, so then we were... Okay, we didn't really like each other when we first met.
No.
Because it wasn't we were like, oh, there's another American, and I wanted to be the only one. It wasn't because of that. It was on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
we reached out on Facebook Messenger, and we messaged a bit. We said, oh my God, you're also going, that's so cool, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we could meet up before we go, who knows, we'll see. And then I sent her a message, and she never responded. And I was like, this bitch. You left me on red. I was like, oh, I see how it is.
And then from my Facebook at the time, I responded.
Yeah.
It just didn't send. Because when I responded, I was in a car. And it was just, when you get one of those unsent messages, it's oh, the message didn't go through.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Because that's when we were talking. I think I was on a road trip up to, we were going somewhere. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But we were on a road trip somewhere, and we were about to lose, and I'm talking to you, and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I want to meet up, blah, blah, blah. And you responded, and I'm like, that sounds great. I'll be in the area from blah, 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 this time to this time. We should meet up here. Send. Throws phone away, doesn't think about it again, and thinks a month later, what's funny? She never got back to me. What the fuck?
Yeah. So then when we met, we were cordial and we were friendly.
Yeah.
But then it was when we went on a night out where then I was you're really cool and I really like you. But before we came to uni, I was just kind of I didn't really know what to expect because you never responded and you were like, yeah, I did. You never responded to me. And then we had that. We had that wait, what moment.
We had the whole thing. And to be honest, this whole situation was definitely on me. Because when I realized, I'm like, you know what, that's kind of funny. She never responded. I didn't actually check.
Oh.
But I sent you a message. I was just like, huh.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
gosh.
it was funny looking back now.
It
'Cause
is.
now, and we're doing the course, and
Yeah.
we're in England. And
Woo!
did you think you're gonna stay post
Oh,
graduation?
100%.
Me too.
100%.
I love it.
I don't have plans to go back anytime soon.
Wow.
I mean, you never know.
Are you
right?
gonna fly home for like summer and that kind of stuff?
I actually can't this
yeah.
coming summer because I'm going to be on placement, which
Yeah.
is
Do you
fun,
want to talk a little
which
bit
is-
about that?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I myself and then another girl, I think we're both friends with in our
Emily,
program.
yeah.
Emily, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Emily.
Shout out Emily.
Woo, Emily. We got the 2 internships through National Geographic with Walt Disney Company, which is
Nice.
very cool. So we're actually going to be moving out to London in like 2 months.
Are you guys gonna be like? Do you have like an apartment you guys are gonna share?
So I actually don't know how she found them, but Emily knew of 2 girls who do, I think, business and accounting,
Okay.
who are also going to London for placement, and the 4 of us are looking for a house together.
How's that going with Cosy Lives and all that
Right.
fun stuff?
So,
I mean, are London prices similar to York prices now?
this is the scary thing, is I'm finding places that are about 180, 190, 200 pounds per week
And that's how much people are paying you?
without bills.
Okay.
But for London, I'm pleased with that.
Yeah.
I'm fully comfortable with that, and we're looking at houses, but yeah, no, it's doable given that we're going to be on a London wage. It's not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so it's like a paid internship.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
So
nice,
we're getting
okay.
for the full year we're making like 1,700 pounds a month. So it's nice. Exactly. It gives
Yeah.
us space to kind of do our own thing and also save a little bit if we can, as long as we're
Yeah.
reasonable and
Yeah.
you say it's just uni.
Oh, you're going to have such a great time.
I think so too.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
exciting.
It is fun.
Well, I think I know a lot of people, I mean, the idea of like a placement year. Do we have that in America, really?
No, not
Yeah.
really. It's more of like, I feel like there's apprenticeships and there's internships,
Yeah.
but a placement year is such its own thing because it's from this month to this month, a full calendar year. You're going to be doing a job. That's part of your degree. And then you return to uni to finish a year after your cohort,
Yeah.
which that's the part that's killing me because I was all excited to do this placement. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
I have no regrets, except it really does disappoint me that I'm not going to graduate with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only...
But I mean, an upside
Yeah.
is, I mean, then you'll double your contacts essentially
Yeah, that's true.
by having like you'll be friends with now the class that's below us, and you'll make friends there, and then you also have us as well.
That's true, and that's a really nice part of it, but also,
yeah.
there's 87 of us?
I mean, are you gonna come to our graduation?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually already mapped it out because it will... You guys are graduating like 2 weeks after my job ends,
Oh,
so
perfect.
I can come up and do the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also strange. Okay, like for us to graduate like in like July, it's not like that, and that's so
No,
strange.
it's really odd.
Yeah.
Summer? Like middle of summer?
Middle of summer, you graduate, and then also your professors like drink with you and all this stuff.
Yeah. Like,
Can we
talk about drinking?
like when we came, like our first day at the uni, and they had like the drink social, like and you meet the professors and stuff, and they had out wine like
They had
in our
wine.
department building, wine, beer, all the stuff, and the professors and students were all drinking together. I was like, this is so weird.
This is so strange.
So weird.
Like my friends I'm not gonna name any names. My friends at home like have little hidey holes in their dorm where they keep alcohol.
Oh
And
yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
it's
especially
just-
when you're a freshman in the dorm halls
Exactly.
and your RAs.
Because you have your RAs and the
Yeah.
RAs come in and they gotta
Yeah.
they check for all this stuff.
Yeah,
My-
for all the British people that don't understand what we're saying.
Oh, right.
The
Translate.
RA is someone that like when you're in your university accommodation, like you're in the dorms, you're in halls. There's someone that comes and like checks your room and makes sure that like
Yeah.
you know everything looks safe, like there's nothing hazardous, and they also check for alcohol.
It's like a live-in stick, except
Yeah.
the stick is a lot more responsible.
Yeah.
Or the stick's responsible for making sure you guys aren't drinking.
yeah,
Or
and the RAs, I mean,
Yeah.
so basically. In order to try and get students to want to snitch on other students, basically to be an RA, you get like, what is it? You get your free accommodation, right?
I think you get free accommodation.
So then, so then you're like, okay, well, then you actually have to like do your job. And like, if someone's blatantly going to be having their vodka bottles out, then I think like,
Then you gotta say something.
Then you say something. But if they're like hiding it well, and then you have an RA that's like, no, I found it. Like, fuck off.
No, it's just
Don't be a snitch.
exactly. Don't be. Who are you? You're supposed to be helping my
We're
mental
all
health.
at uni.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
No kidding. It's like this is support.
Yeah.
This is care.
Yeah.
This is you taking care of me. Let me keep it. No, yeah. Well, and then okay, this is quite funny. So I bet you're in a similar situation. Most of my friends went to UW.
Yeah.
Translation University of Washington in Seattle. Most of them are there. And it's so weird to me. So strange.
Yeah.
Because people that I don't really talk to anymore, but we were like acquainted in high school, right? Live together.
Yeah.
And like I'll see them going out together and I'm like, right, people still exist in that sphere together.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
well, and also a lot of people from high school that you see that are still best friends with other high school friends, or like people that they knew elementary, middle school, high school. Like
Grew up
people
with.
have these tight bonds with people and stuff too. And I think that is valuable and that is really cool. And if you have that, but also like as long as you're open to making new friends.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
what's important. And I think that's where people will kind of mess that up, is then they just stick with the people that they already know. They live with the people they went to high school with, and then they don't go make new friends because they like already have friends.
Right. And then I mean that's how you end up with, I think, weird cycles where how is it that the same group of people went to high school together, went to uni together, returned to their hometown, and are all working in similar it's just and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that genuinely does work, but you're right, you have to kind of be willing
open.
to expand. I mean I have a hard time understanding how you could stay with like not
and not want to go make new connections and meet new people.
That's the thing, is it's less of like I don't understand how people have the same friends for a long time. Of course I understand that. Actually, my best friend is coming out in the next 2 days from the US.
Awesome.
Girl travels.
Okay.
Shawty travels. Like, let me tell you, this bitch. No, so this is my best
Call her
friend.
out.
Exactly. Listen, ho. No. So this is my best friend growing up. And we're still best friends, really. When it comes down to it, we don't talk every day.
Okay.
And because we're both like that, we both if we're not together, we're not going to chat. But she's still my dearest friend. But this girl, I swear to God, so she in high school was part of band and all that stuff, and did band trips out the wazoo. She was in France when they won the World Cup.
Oh wow.
She would tours of like Germany and just the entire everywhere.
Wow, lovely.
Yeah. So she actually just finished a study abroad in Rome.
Oh, nice.
Of course. Oh, I'm so jealous of her. This is all warm love, jealous, of course. And then she has friends just everywhere. So she's in Munich right now, and then she's going to come see me. And I'm so excited to see her. But yeah.
Well, I think it's like less common for people in the U.S. to be doing the big traveling stuff, especially from Washington.
That's a very
it's so
good
far.
point to make.
It's so far.
And that's something that is so strange to me still, is that coming from the U.S., when you go on vacation, the furthest you go is like Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because if you want summer, sun, heat, you go to
the islands.
Like the islands, and then which is within the U.S.
Yeah.
And if you want city, you go to New York, and if you want theme park, you go to Orlando.
I know some people that have never left the U.S.
I do too, a lot.
And that to me is like, that's just so crazy. And I think I am so appreciative and so blessed to have the opportunity to go travel. And I know that's not everyone can. But I think the people that can and just choose not to, that's what blows my mind.
That I would agree with that. Why would you not want to see other places?
Yeah. And like also go experience a culture that's not your own.
I even understand, or I especially understand people not moving somewhere like we did. We were bye. Let's go to Yorkshire of all places.
So had you ever been before? I think I've asked you this before.
No.
Yeah, neither had I.
No.
Just hope for the best. I was like, fingers crossed they speak English, it should be fine.
That was genuinely my thought.
We're like, where do they speak English? International schools.
Exactly.
How much does it cost?
How
tuition?
much does it cost?
How much is housing? Add it up.
When I
and
realized
then you go to the Great British Pounds to dollars translate.
Oh my gosh, I have that Google Translate from pounds to dollars is constantly open on my tab.
Yep.
It existed for like 3 straight years because I decided when I would say sophomore year, which would be translation, I think like year 10. For that, because you go up to year 13 in Britain, I believe. So I think it would be year 10. Anyway, around year 10 and year 11, whatever. I decided, I'm like, okay, I could go to university in a foreign country. This is great. I speak Spanish.
Okay.
Fast forward, I don't speak Spanish anymore because I did my foreign language from ages like 12 to 15. So I wouldn't say fluent, but I was confident and comfortable enough to like go to Spain. And then I did 3 years without practicing.
Yeah.
Like, nope, that's not happening anymore, right? So where do they speak English? England. I looked at other places in the UK too, and I looked at Ireland as well, but no.
Well, I remember I was doing a gap year because of COVID.
That's right.
Because I graduated in 2020.
Yeah.
So then I did
God
gap
bless
year,
you.
but like right before the gap year really started, I was looking at like University of England as a thing, and then I was like, it was like a very like last minute thing, and I was just like, okay, and I was like, then you could go through clearing,
right? Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay, like what is this? So I was thinking about
Absolutely.
going just anyway, like through clearing or whatever. I had never heard about this, and was like last minute trying to like see if I could make it happen, but obviously then I was like looking at like. Then I found like the Guardian's list of the top schools in England for film and TV.
Okay.
And then that's how York kind of was on my radar, and their submissions had already closed and everything because you have to apply on time. They don't really do the.
I'm gonna
clearing
admit
for
something
film.
to you, and
Okay.
I'm gonna regret it immediately. Do you know how I came across University of York like for the first time?
Did you search like for New York?
Oh, it's worse. It's so worse. I found a BuzzFeed quiz called "What UK Uni is Best for You."
Oh.
And it basically said Uni of York, boring, but there's green stuff everywhere. Green stuff being like it's
Trees.
pretty here. Yeah, there's trees. And I was like, all right. And I looked up University of York. I saw that they had a really good film program, film and TV program. Well, at the time, I was looking specifically into journalism, but
I was also interested in journalism when I was like, I think like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I was on my school newspaper all 4 years.
Oh, me too. Hey.
And then I was like feature section editor and everything. I forgot I did all this. Oh,
I know,
go
see.
me. I think about how much work
There
I
you
did in
go.
high school, and
my
I'm like,
God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I was my high school's multimedia editor. Shout out to Viking News Network.
Oh God.
And so I ran like our weekly news show, and it was horrible.
Oh.
But I liked the times that I took to go out and actually shoot like short features.
Yeah.
To go on that. So I was like,
Is that kind of what inspired you to want to do film? Like, how'd you know? What is your film origin story?
what's my origin story?
Yeah.
Well, my mom would say it was me making a iMovie video.
Okay.
On her iPad to
Nice.
the Cup song.
Okay.
I like to disagree.
I wonder if that became a thing. For everyone that couldn't see, we just like imitated us doing the Cup song with our hands.
Which I'm sure everyone here knows what that is.
Yeah,
And if you
100%.
don't, look it up. If you
Well,
Google.
I wonder because like, okay, do you remember in like elementary school in
Yeah.
the cafeteria, everyone would be doing
It was
it?
banned from my school.
Oh, really? Well, because it was loud and obnoxious. I mean, yeah.
They had a point.
But I wonder if that ever became a thing here. Yeah.
That's actually a really good question. That's one of those trends I just assumed
Made it over.
But you know what's something interesting? And I was just talking to one of my housemates about this, is how, or not housemates, I was on a shoot. We were shooting for a short film over the last few days. And we were talking about how trends now, if they exist in the US, they'll exist in England and everywhere else in Britain and most likely Europe and parts of Asia and all of this stuff because just the internet and social media is so widespread, whereas we kind of came of age during that transition because we were talking, they're just basically playing 2000s popular song after 2000s popular song for me, and I knew like She's So Lovely, and that's it. That's all except to play
I would
every
say
club night.
like the Arctic Monkeys are way bigger here.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so when I went home this summer, I was like, okay, I listened to a lot of Arctic Monkeys, so I could like understand what was going on when I go to Stone Roses. I listened to a lot more Oasis. I listened to
I like Oasis.
Catfish and the Bottlemen, more Sam Fender.
Yep.
Like trying to more of the 1975 for sure.
Oh, God,
Which the 1975 really has taken off in America now as well. But they were popular. I'm not saying they weren't.
No,
but
they were.
I think they're more popular here.
They were like Tumblr core.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1975, my God. I can't do it. And when I tell you I've tried. I'm just not a fan. My boyfriend, who is
okay.
from here, from here, is
a British boyo.
A British man. God. He loves them. That is his favorite band. And so he actually came back to the US with me for part of last summer. And we would be doing a road trip, which I almost killed him. Not in the car because of driving, not because I was a bad driver, but because he'd never been in a car longer than like 2 hours.
Ever. True, yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, we're just going to drive out to Mount Rainier and back. And that was only like 50 minutes from my house, Mount Rainier is. But I decided to go to the other side of the mountain. So not Paradise, but Sunrise, I think.
I don't know. I've only been like once.
Oh, okay. See, I guess I'm way closer because I'm out in the sticks.
For me, I went with like my friends from the East Coast that came to come visit us. We took them to Mount Rainier.
Yeah, so
I was like
I went
12.
all the time because it was right there for us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went all the way around and it was probably about a 2-hour drive. And he was like, I think I'm carsick. This is awful. Like, like, you know that band thing where they're like, oh,
when our family
drama.
We drove to Yellowstone and just
oh, did you?
Just do it. Well, we did it during COVID because obviously everyone was like vacationing within the U.S.
Yeah.
And exclusively because it was very much COVID. So,
and you could still go to national parks,
to Yellowstone.
Which was nice. Yeah, 'cause it's open.
And we stayed at this hotel, which is like people always rave about. It was like a really, really nice one by the Old Faithful, like Geyser Basin. Yeah. But because of COVID, everything was like, it was so strange. And it was also hot, and there was no AC. And I know for everyone here, that's not a big thing, but yeah, it was really hot.
In Yellowstone.
It was hot. And we had no AC, and we were all dying inside.
Oh my gosh!
But then because of COVID, then like all of the food was like packaged in the. It just felt like being in nature and seeing so much plastic wrapped shit. I was like,
something here is just not. It's not working.
Give me the egg.
Yeah. The plastic egg. Absolutely, the plastic.
Yeah. Exactly. I love that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that was quite funny. But yeah, no. Anyway, the 1975.
Yeah, the 1975.
That's where we were. Yeah. He would play whole albums for me, and I really can't get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good when I'm like feeling like I'm in like a sad girl era type vibe.
Sure.
Yeah. This is the first year I've ever made a playlist called I Want to Cry.
See, I have one called I'm Crying in the Forest, and it's...
Why? Why the forest?
Because I needed a name for the Twilight soundtrack.
Oh, I like that.
That's it. Yeah, no, I just really liked it, to be honest. I liked that's horrible, but it was a vibe. Anyway, but no, I have one called I'm Crying in the Forest. To be fair, though, my playlists, I don't really do moods.
Okay.
Because I go through, like, to use my favorite term, eras.
Yeah.
You know? I will just label, I'll make a playlist of whatever music I like at the time, and then occasionally start new ones, and I just label it of the time period. So I have from back to, my first one is July through August 2019. And I just, like, groups of months ever since then.
I like that.
It's not very organized. It just works. But, you know.
Well, people were commenting the other day. They're like, your music is so random. And I was like, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because, I love Taylor Swift. But I also, I listen to a lot of random shit. Like, I'll listen to, like, a lot of classical, or I'll listen to, like, a lot of rap, or I'll listen to a lot of rock. Or, like, I feel like I'm everywhere.
Right. No, I mean, I like to say... What I'll say is I know the popular stuff from most genres.
Yeah.
I don't know really many deep tracks unless it's a specific artist I like. I've never gotten into the you know who they are.
You've never heard of
exactly. I've never gotten that far, but
Gum on My Shoe. I don't know. And it has to have like
a
some
really
sort of,
good
like,
band name.
Gum on My Shoe. Yeah.
She's trademarking
Trademark.
Gum on My Shoe. What kind of band is that?
Ooh, do you think it'd be like?
I think that's indie pop.
Indie, yeah.
Yeah.
Indie
like,
pop, I like.
If Phoebe Bridgers was happy.
Gum on My Shoe.
Gum on My Shoe.
I like
it's
that.
It's kind of pink, you know? It's just nice. Yeah, no, there you go. Anyway, I like to say I know the popular stuff from most genres. The one genre I just... Well, actually, that's not even true. I was going to say the one genre I just haven't been able to get into is country music. But I love me some, like, old school, like, Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Dolly Parton's my favorite.
Would you have stayed in state? Was that like a possibility?
No. So, okay, this is the thing for me, is I decided at the beginning of my senior year, this is what I want to do. I want to go to the UK for university. I can come back if I want. It's only 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll be a great experience. If I want to come back to school or finish school in the US, awesome. If I don't, awesome. But I did not want to go in state. There was no...
So did you even like apply?
No.
Yeah.
I only applied to UK schools.
So was York your top choice then?
It became my top choice.
Yeah.
Originally, it was Newcastle.
Okay.
I've since been. I really like it. I actually really like Newcastle. I know it gets
I liked it.
I get a lot. It
was really
seems
cool.
to get a lot of slack, but I think it was a nice place.
Oh,
But
I liked it.
yeah, no, it was nice. They had a very good documentary films, which is kind of
Okay.
it's my lane. I want to get down.
All
They had a really
right.
good documentary focus program, and then it occurred to me like, first of all, I just love the look of York. Excuse me. I love the look of York. I loved how green and wide open it looked. It's a bit smaller, mind you.
Yeah.
But it's well connected.
Yeah.
And it had a program in my mind that gave me more options. So if I got there and I decided, oh shoot,
I don't like documentary.
I hate documentary. Well, then I have other options to study.
Yeah.
So,
And then
yeah.
you get to... Oh, so what are you choosing to specialize in next year?
Right. So when I come back for my third year, advanced audio.
Yeah.
Audio all the way.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm a sound girl myself. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, good. Because we're worried that the advanced audio program, that class isn't going to run. I've heard. Because it didn't run last year. But anyway.
I really, really want it to run. I mean, backup choice, I think I put cinematography.
Cool.
Because I'm like, then I'll learn more about a camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I really hope audio works. I mean, look, I like audio. I have a podcast. I like audio.
She's got the whole setup.
Yeah, well, now I've got the new camera set up. It looks, because Adam really bullied me on the last episode for having my janky phone thing. So now it looks a lot better.
Phones are good.
It
Phones
works.
are nice.
It looks great,
It
but now
works.
this is like a little more
It's
spacious.
professional.
I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. Like, I don't know why I didn't choose to just do that. I decided I put it here, and it felt claustrophobic. But now,
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess being in a corner kind of gives it more of a conversation feel.
yeah,
I suppose.
I mean, we can see
but
how
we're
this,
fine.
how this
Yeah.
goes.
It looks great. Yeah. And if you want to go back, and no one puts baby in a corner, but
Well, I can do
except
whatever
for
I want.
baby.
I can do whatever I want. Yeah, why
There you
not?
go.
Yeah.
That's
So your boyfriend went to America. What did he think? Because I'm bringing my friend to come visit this summer.
Yeah.
And they're really excited. But I'm like, what did he think?
So I've brought 2 people back to the U.S.
Right,
since then.
Peter as well.
So yeah,
Okay.
my friend Peter, who is also on our course, has also been back to the U.S. And essentially, both of them have kind of thought the same thing: is why can't I walk anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think my boyfriend in particular, because he's just not used to cars, got really frustrated with having to be in a car for a long period of time to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, they both thought it was like the most beautiful place they'd ever been.
Oh.
Yeah. Or particularly my boyfriend, who his name's Matt, so
Yeah.
I stopped calling him my
you
boyfriend.
can name him.
Yeah, he goes, anyway, soft launch? No, just kidding. We've been together like almost a year and a half, so that's
Soft launch.
it's a little
now.
late for a soft launch. But anyway, yeah,
Well,
no.
maybe it's
so-
like Kylie. I'm stuttering. Like Kylie Jenner when she hit her pregnancy and she had to hard launch the baby when it came out. It's like that.
She
'cause
launched that
She had
kid
to try
out,
to
let
be
me tell ya.
secret for 9 months.
Yeah.
She didn't tell anyone. Do you remember this? This was like a whole thing.
I don't remember this at all.
No, I keep up with the real news of the world.
No, to be fair,
Kylie Jenner's pregnancy.
look, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that. But I did not know that was the thing.
Yeah, well, no, so she was pregnant and she didn't tell anyone, and
Good
it was
for
a
her.
secret. She posted about it. She just went MIA for 9 months. And
Good
then
for
was like,
her. She
"Surprise, I
probably
have a
got
kid."
left alone. That's
Well,
awesome.
that's what she wanted. She wanted it to just be like time for her to just be pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when your life is cultivated in the limelight like that, I mean, that's probably quite nice. Was it? You know what I did hear? Didn't everybody think her baby was with her security guard?
Yeah, because he looked like him.
Because I remember seeing pictures of its baby and the security guard side by side.
And it was like, yeah.
Oh,
I remember
there you
that.
go.
That was
cool.
funny.
See, I'm hip with the kids. Don't you worry.
Okay, but back to Matt.
Right, sorry, back to Matt. So he loved it.
Okay,
I took him out to I really focused on just because he likes nature, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, like
What were like the shocking things he found in America? Where he was like, "What the heck is this?"
I think the biggest thing for him, genuinely, was like cars.
Okay.
Cars are bigger. Roads are bigger. We spend so much time in the car, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I miss driving.
I used to keep car snacks in my car because I used to be in my car so much that I wouldn't have time to go eat food.
Yeah.
So I kept like a bag of pistachios in my car.
Protein bars and
Yeah.
absolutely.
I ate so many pistachios.
I miss pistachios. You know what's crazy? Why are nuts so expensive here?
I know.
I know why, but like,
Well,
it's so
they're
frustrating.
expensive in America, but like here, like I've never bought nuts here because
I've never. Yeah, it's
I'm just like, it's not
£2 for like 5 minutes of snacking, if you ask me. But maybe I'm chowing down a little too fast here.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. So that was the biggest thing. He said, but also I think the other side of that was he was shocked at how much landscape and what a wide variation in landscape we got in such a kind of small radius.
Yeah.
Because I took him out to Eastern Washington, which,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, is plains. Part of
Yeah.
it's a bit deserty. It's not a desert, but it can be very dry.
Yeah. Dry, arid.
Dry area, Tri-Cities area. Like, we
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
go that far, but, So Eastern Washington, which is plains, it's hills, it's flat.
Yeah.
Flatter.
And then that's where you have the other university that people go to,
Yep.
Washington State University, which people
WSU.
will call Wazoo.
Wazoo, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wazoo. Anyway,
Yeah.
Go Cougs and all that.
Go
I that felt like it. See, I don't even care, and I feel like I'm like.
I was supposed to
father
go.
will kill me.
I was
Were
supposed to
you?
go to Wazoo, because I was staying in state because tuition.
Yeah.
And I got into UW as well.
Yeah.
But UW had nothing for film, like absolutely nothing.
This is why I decided not to apply in state at all.
And so, but Wazoo, and it was the closest thing you could get to film in the entire
Broadcast
state
journalism.
of Washington.
Yep.
It was broadcast production.
Yep.
The closest thing I get in all of Washington State for
Yep.
film.
So this is why I didn't
here.
apply in the U.S. at all or in Washington at all, is because when I decided, okay, film production, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find a good program like that. So even if I went out of state, which I didn't want to spend the money on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay for
Well,
out
it's
of state
also more
tuition.
expensive than coming here.
It is. Out of state is more expensive than going international, or at least to this country.
That's so wild.
And I struggled to find programs that were like, not, so you watch this Martin Scorsese film, what do you think? And actually gave you a camera to get your hands on. But yeah, no, you're right. It's crazy.
So, I mean, because I think if I had been born and raised in California and lived in California, I probably then would have stayed in state because
Agreed.
there's a lot in state in the state
Yeah.
of California. So everyone, when I would tell them, like in Washington, like people, oh, like what do you want to study? And I was like film production, like, oh, so you're headed down to California then, huh?
Exactly.
That's
Or
always
New
what I
York.
got. Yep.
Yep.
And I was like, now I'm going to go
No.
to England.
Exactly. No, really. Like that's because that was my thing, is I didn't want to apply in state because the only thing was broadcast production, and I didn't want to go into journalism.
Yeah. Well, so for me, my gap year was it was like a silver lining to COVID. It was such a blessing for me that then I was able to like take a gap year and look into unis in England and see how much they cost and apply. And like, I was like, and also I don't know if my parents really thought that I would go through with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so I was very much like, I paid for all the application fees and I was very much like I am doing this. Like, I want to show that I'm actually really committed to wanting to make this happen.
See, I was quite disappointed a bit because I had a friend who was supposed to move out here with me. And she made the decision that was best for her, which was going back.
Yeah.
And going back to Washington because she's
Okay.
very, very happy. But she would have been the only person I knew here. And she was going to go to Northumbria University because she applied to schools, I think, near where I was applying to. And so at the time, my plan was to go to Newcastle. And she got into Northumbria and was going to go to Northumbria. And she actually moved out here a week before I did. But I think our planes missed each other by a few hours because she decided to go back right away. And she is so happy at home. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I met someone. I went to the Capitol Hill block party last summer in Seattle, and
Cap Hill.
I met this girl who she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to school in England, like I'm so nervous, blah blah blah.
Oh, cool.
And so then it kind of felt in a way that it was like a sorority sister type vibe. Like I was her big, she was my little, and I gave her all like my advice and everything. And I was like,
great.
Tried to tell her as much as I could because she was really, really nervous. And she goes to school far down south. I think like, I don't know if it was Essex or not.
Sure.
But she went like to school far away from here because I was like, oh, like I'm at York. Like if you're close, you always like obviously welcome to come visit.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if I'll ever see her ever again. But I have her on Snapchat. And then I checked in with her a couple weeks ago and I was like, hey,
good for you.
I was like, how are things? Like she's like, oh my God, it's so sweet of you to reach out. Like,
that is sweet of you.
Yeah. Well, because I was just
awesome.
like, I felt like a big sister. I was like,
well, I mean, it's such a weird transition too. I don't think I was scared. I think I was just awkward the first few months I was here. There were so many small social things that were hard for me to pick up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is a weird one, but like buses.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever heard cheers as thank you. Okay. And I was a bit confused there. But also the etiquette, like bus etiquette. I didn't know, can I push the stop button or do they stop automatically? I'd never really done public transportation. Okay. That's not a thing in our area.
The only reason I had I knew cheers because my dad would say cheers.
Nice.
So I was fine there.
Yeah.
But then with the bus thing, I had been in New York.
Okay.
And my grandmother couldn't continue walking, so she's like, let's get on the bus. And I was like, can we not just take the subway? And she's like, no, we get murdered, we're taking the bus. And I was like, okay. So we get on the bus, and then there's like a string you pull when you want to get off at your stop.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I was like, this is like that, I think. Like, it seems similar enough. So then I kind of was able to bridge a knowledge of sorts.
Okay, so there you go. See, it's so weird. But I just never been on a bus before. And then who gets on first, who gets off first. It was just so many small things.
Here's another thing. Yeah. Is then here, you're able to just tap your card and do that.
Whoa.
I was in Seattle this summer, and I needed to go work a shift that was in this like Seattle proper.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I had to get the bus because I wasn't going to pay for the bridge toll.
Right.
So
you need your like Orca card.
So then he was like, oh, like where's your Orca card? And I was like, because I looked it up and it said it was going to take 3 weeks to arrive, but my shift was the next day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have Apple Pay, I have a card, like, and he was like, no, like, do you not have cash? I was like, I don't.
No.
Like, and so I had to transfer, so I had to ask 2 different bus drivers, like, can you please let me ride for free? And then the next day I had a bag of quarters.
There you go.
I was like, quarters.
Good to go.
Well, on that note, I'm going to actually wrap this up.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to say goodbye. Katie, it's been lovely having you on the pod.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you finally got you on here.
I know.
I'm having fun. Well, someone said to me today, they're like, oh, are you just going to try and get everyone on here? And I was like, yeah, why not? This is so fun.
Keep it rolling. You never know who has something interesting to say.
Yeah.
Or who has... Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah, perfect.
What do you know? Well, thank you for having me. I am honored.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for listening. You can listen to this anywhere podcasts can be found, that being Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, all the places. We are also on YouTube with our cute little setup. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram. It's currently blowing up a little bit.
Woo!
At the Universe Podcast, where I post like cute little reels and stuff. So if you want to like check those out.
The best universe I've ever been a part of.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say?
All right, bye guys.
Bye.